Hi, this is Brennan Davis from Bedrock Games and the Bedrock blog, and I'm continuing with my discussion of Cheng Pei-Pei movies. I've been rewatching a lot of her classic films, and I just want to do this because she passed away in July, and she's one of my favorite actresses, especially in this genre. And today I'm going to be talking about The Flying Dagger, a 1969 Chang Cheh film. This is one that I think I covered on the podcast or on the YouTube channel some time ago. It's been a while since I've seen it. Um, in this film, Cheng Pei-Pei plays a woman named Yu Ying, who kills a rapacious murderer who is the son of Flying Dagger Zhao Lieh. This sparks a campaign of revenge against her father, leaving her family on the run until a loner named Cheng comes to their aid. Cheng is played by Lieh. This is, again, a Chang Cheh film, and so number one, it's a little bit like Golden Swallow. Cheng Pei-Pei, she's a central character and she's one of the major protagonists, but she isn't like the main fighting hero in the movies. You know, we see her in a number of fight scenes, but Lieh is really kind of like the badass in the movie. This is, it's fairly typical of Chang Cheh. He has kind of this staunch masculinity style, and so in Golden Swallow, even though it's a sequel to Come Drink With Me and she's the title character, that's really more of Jimmy Wang Yu's movie. So it's a similar type of situation. So that's one of the reasons why this one wouldn't necessarily be on the top of my Cheng Pei-Pei list when I'm ranking Cheng Pei-Pei movies, but that doesn't mean it's not a good movie. This is a really good film. Just like Golden Swallow is a really good film. But again, it's a little bit like if you go to watch an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie and he's not playing the main badass in the film, it changes how you would rank it among Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. So similar type of concept here. Now, it's been a while since I've seen this one, and I really did forget how good this one is. Number one, it's 1969, and so when you watch a lot of movies from this era, and then you go and you watch a Chang Cheh film, his movies just really stand out because of how they're shot. He has a very clear, stark vision of what he wants, and there's just a lot of stunning, visuals, and the storytelling is done really well. The things that I like about this movie is, number one, it really works well at building the tension. There's plenty of fight scenes in this one, but really what I found most compelling about the movie was the tension leading up to those fight sequences, and also the character drama. Again, Cheng Pei-Pei isn't playing the most badass character that she would be playing in these kind of movies, but she really does a good job in the role that she's given by Chang Cheh, and it's important to the story because a lot of what makes the movie work is the love story between her and Lieh. And again, he's kind of a loner type. This isn't the type of movie where you're necessarily expecting a happy ending. You're sort of more expecting some kind of closure or whatever at the end. It's not necessarily if one of the two characters in the love story isn't dead by the end of the movie, then that's maybe the best you can hope for. Again, Lieh plays kind of an interesting guy. He's an orphan, he's a loner, one of these sort of darker shaded heroes. And initially he comes off as a little bit of a jerk, but it's really more due to just his distrust of people than anything else. And this is something that Cheng Pei-Pei's character learns over the course of the movie, and by the end, she's genuinely in love with him. Again, you're not necessarily going to get this, complete happy ending, but this is about as happy an ending, I think, as you can get in a Chang Cheh film. And by the way, if I confuse Cheng Pei-Pei or Chang Cheh at any point while I'm speaking, I apologize. It's really hot out today. We're in the middle of a heat wave, and I'm a little bit worried that I might get some things mixed up while I'm doing my discussion. Yeah, this one, again, it has a really cool black and white segment at the very beginning of the movie, and I think it works really well. Chang Cheh, he experiments a lot with black and white. There's another movie that I think really nails it, But in this one, it does a good job of sort of setting up the background. And the background, like I said, is Cheng Pei-Pei's character kills the son of Flying Dagger, and that's what sparks everything off. But it's done in this black and white sort of prelude, and I really like that. I think that it gives the movie a stark opening. It's shot interest. I like the way black and white movies look. I think black and white is almost its own medium, and it's handled well here. So that's an interesting opening. But there's also a lot of other moments in the movie where the cinematography really works. There's a scene where one of her brothers, I can't remember the name of the brother, but one of her brothers is fending off attackers on a bridge so that the other brother and the youngest brother can get away. And again, I think only one of them is her literal brother, and the others are more like sworn brothers. But either way, he's fending off these guys at a bridge, and there's a moment where the guy begins. It's clear that he's about to die, and the way that it's shot, it's very subtle but very effective, where you get the sense of the camera motion is meant to reflect the guy's sort of mental state as he's about to die. I just thought it was very effective. There's a number of other scenes like that. Even the final scene where, again, the way these movies often end is there's usually like a final shot of some kind. And this one is sort of a multiple splicing where you get the final shot, but then you also get the hero wandering off in the distance, then back to the final shot. And the final shot of Cheng Pei-Pei in it is, I think, really stunning. And so, also really good opening music in this movie. Chang Cheh is really good at using music to sort of hook you into a movie, and also to emphasize certain plot beats. And I thought that the music throughout the movie was quite good. The bad guy, Flying Dagger, he's a really good character. He's played by Yang Chi-Ching. He's been in a bunch of stuff, and I think he was the bad guy in... I'm pretty sure he was the bad guy in One-Armed Swordsman. I'll check that out just to make sure that I'm being accurate about that. But he was tremendous in this. He's one of these just thoroughly evil guys who will kill anyone. He'll kill his own men for stealing, which they establish. He kills innocent people who are withholding information, even if they're not. I think he's just going to kill them anyways. And he kills women who aren't pretty enough. He just kills everybody. And he's a pretty terrifying villain. I think and I like the whole Flying Dagger thing with him. It really works. He's got a bandolier of like 4 daggers, and so he's not the youngest guy in the world, and he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's because he's fighting with this ranged weapon, he's pretty terrifying. And also just the conceit of that allows for some interesting banter between the characters. The Lieh character Yang Cheng also uses daggers, and so he's sort of an interesting mirror to the villain. I like, again, it's a Chang Cheh film, so you have these sort of darker heroes, and I like that there's a lot of ambiguity around the Lieh character in the beginning of the movie, so that you don't necessarily know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. He seems to almost be playing both sides at the beginning, and it's a little unclear which direction he's going to go, and he's not particularly trusting of either side. And so we see him at various points almost seeming to be neutral, and so I think that helps, number one, with the sense of danger in the movie, because the main group of characters are all in a great deal of peril, as they're on the run with the father trying to protect him, but he's ailing and they have to give him medicine, and they have to hide out in an inn, and there's just this sense that they are at an extreme disadvantage, and they really need the help of this Yang Cheng guy. So whichever direction he goes is really important. But yeah, and again, this was a movie where I hadn't seen it in a while, and it was really nice and refreshing to see some Chang Cheh style direction. Again, I like a lot of movies from this era. They have this sort of classic swashbuckling style to them, But one thing that you always get when you see a Chang Cheh film is just really incredible cinematography, outstanding direction, and the storytelling is usually top notch. Again, it's one of these movies where it's sort of a shame that the Cheng Pei-Pei character is she's not quite a damsel in distress, but she's definitely not the most powerful female character among compared to some of her other roles. She still plays a very interesting character, and I think that the acting that Cheng Pei-Pei does in this movie is some of her best. She has some really great moments in it, and her character is still very strong-willed. But again, it's a Cheng Cheh movie, so the women are kind of more feminine and womanly, and the men are more masculine and often loner types, or just these sort of like I said, rugged martial heroes. But yeah, so I don't know. I would say that this is not the first Cheng Pei-Pei movie to see, and not the first Chang Cheh film to see. Definitely, there would be other movies that I would put at the top of that list. If you're going to see a Cheng Pei-Pei film, go to Come Drink With Me first, or go to Lady Hermit first, or we looked at Dragon Swamp. That would be another one I might recommend first. But this is definitely up there. This is a good movie. It's a really solid wuxia film. And for Chang Cheh, it's a really good movie, but I'd probably recommend The Assassin, or One Armed Swordsman, or even Golden Swallow maybe before this one. Golden Swallow, I think, is I might just be partial to it, but I think that's well, this is maybe a better movie than Golden Swallow in terms of solid storytelling and all that. But Golden Swallow has just some real the highs in Golden Swallow, I think, are higher than the highs in this one, if that makes sense. And yeah, but again, this is like very good, mid to late '60s Chang Cheh, and it's a solid Cheng Pei-Pei film. And I think that it really gets the tension perfectly. It makes very good use of music. And again, it features something that you see in a lot of Chang Cheh films, where you have the heroes who, even though they're bleeding to death, they're still fighting to the last. So again, it's that staunch masculinity style of filmmaking. Again, Chang Cheh has a very clear vision of what he wants in wuxia, and it's very much about these rugged, masculine, manly characters. Almost to the point of self-parody, but I don't think sometimes the costuming in the later movies certainly gets there, but I feel like it's done well enough that it's not. I don't find it ridiculous. I find it effective in the way that a Western is effective. It's that type of sort of character, like that the strong, silent type of of a hero. So I just want to make sure there's nothing that I'm forgetting. No, I don't want to give anything away, so I don't want to talk too much. There were a couple of plot points I was thinking of talking about. The one thing I will say is, if you do see this, there is some sexual violence at the beginning of the movie, and there's kind of an awkward proposal in the middle of the movie. It handles all that stuff fine. I think that it's a fairly classy film in that respect, but just things to be aware of if you're going to go in and see it. And again, also it hasn't it's not like the most populated martial world, but you do get a good sense of there being a martial world. There's two major clans, and at a certain point we're introduced to these characters named the Five Ghouls, who make a very brief appearance, but they give you a glimpse into like a much bigger world of martial heroes. So again, Flying Dagger, it's 1969. This is a Chang Cheh film, and the martial arts direction, importantly, is Lau Kar-leung and Tong Kai. So that's also notable here. And there's a nice Gu Feng appearance early in the movie. He doesn't last that long, but he makes a very strong impression. And again, the characters and everything in this are really strong. I think that this is a really good sort of character-driven action film, and it works really well. So if I again, because I've been sort of giving it these very ambiguous ratings, because I've been talking about the top Cheng Pei-Pei films, the top Chang Cheh films. If I had to give it a number, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. So I mean, a very good movie. I would give it a high rank. I want to be clear about that. I just because I'm doing this in the context of the Cheng Pei-Pei series, I'm trying to discuss it in that light. All right, so I will let you go, and until next time, I will talk to you later.